I loved this TED Talk. Minda is such an inspiration. So after I got done crying, the first thing this video made me think about was when she talked about possible selves, like in our Module 6 discussions. When she was a child, she had a hoped for possible self, wanting to play sports like her family did. And then she met someone who introduced her to the possibilities of competing in the Kona triathlon. Then she turned that hoped for to an expected possible self. After not finishing the Kona, she internalized her friend's words about embracing her failures. And when she got to the middle the next time, when she tried the Kona, she used self-talk to get herself to focus, which reminded me of the video with Martin Hager that when he talked about the psychology of sports and how athletes have the same technique for just the same reason. She also used her disease as a silver lining, turning her ailment into a catalyst for awareness and change, using her win as a talking point to eradicate polio. This tool, I remember from our reading, was an emotion regulation strategy, reappraisal, called reappraisal. She has the same pattern as an athlete does, it seems. I watched a Netflix documentary called Arnold, about Arnold Schwarzenegger's life. And he had the same spark. It was fascinating to me that he came from such a difficult situation and turned it around with an athlete's psychology before it was even a thing. I'm curious where Minda and Arnold get their spark from. Because a lot of what we have talked about in class, kind of that intrinsic motivation, it seems they both have very different stories, but they're the same, you know? Honestly, everything I've learned about human motivation through this course, I have been using in my career and my personal life currently. Understanding intrinsic and extrinsic motivations has been key for me, understanding why at my work, for example, when they throw bonuses and overtime and titles, it just doesn't matter. The morale is so low because they don't feed the team intrinsically, and they've actually taken away a lot of autonomy, competence, and relatedness. It makes sense now why it's all backfiring on them, so now I understand. I find it equally fascinating that everyone who's miserable there has no plans to leave and feels like they can't. Originally, I rented the digital version of the book for this class, but I decided to buy the current one for my personal library. There's so much in there that I need to reference later or mark so that I can readily find it. I was honestly so overwhelmed with the theories and the history leading up to these theories. It's hard to swallow in 8 weeks, and I know I can't learn everything, but I want to be a sponge and take it all in. Though at times I felt like I was hitting a mental block through this course for some reason, I really enjoyed the course. This is the information I'm seeking and wish that I could teach others. However, hopefully in whatever future career I have, I can use what I'm learning here to help others and bring them to an understanding about themselves and those around them. Thank you so much. I enjoyed the course.